in Alan Brawl. What is
It's my amalgam name.
my
I'm amalgam for tonight.
well? Welcome to this universe, this combined universe, Alan, and everyone else. Welcome to Gotham City tonight, dude. A lot has happened.
Yeah, it's been a packed week. We're
So
only
much.
halfway through.
We're only halfway through, but even from the time that we stopped, all of a sudden on Thursday last week, X-Men drops a trailer.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, it was after we talk about Deadpool, we talk about Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Then X-Men 97 drops a trailer,
and I was like, "What are you guys doing?" I felt like that last week was their. Oh, you think we lost it? You think we don't have it anymore?
Yeah.
How about this? Pop, 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 and everyone just went, "Oh, Marvel's back!" And I was like, "Oh, come on, you guys." I know, but I fell for it too. I'm not gonna lie. All the X-Men stuff, kind of goes to show you that people are hungry for it, and that was I think it broke a record. They announced it today. It was like the #1 animated trailer from Disney with the highest amount of views in the shortest amount of time.
That's awesome.
So
something's in the air. X-Men, X-Men's making a comeback. Yeah, as we saw with Rogue, that Mondo put up. Was it yesterday? It feels like
a lifetime ago now.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's get into that. But actually, right before we get into that, let's say hi to everybody here in the chat first. Right? And if you're new here, I'm Ryan Doell, and I'm actually here with Alex Brewer, and we're going to talk about his work here, and we're just going to say a quick hello and howdy do to the chat before we get rolling, because man, we got lots to talk about here. Stanley's Toy Channel is here. Gady's Toys, Dorlaxian, Gotham Stalker, Stanley Eberhard, Charlie Squared, Jevons 24, the Ryan Doell Fan Club, Dolomites Unite. My goodness gracious, that still sounds so weird to me. My best friend and yours, Mr. Matt Bush, Derek Hoover. Derek Hoover is here. Skylar Davis, Dolocracy. Let's see who, and we've got the Deadheads are here as well. Oh my gosh, Johnny Cock. Where's Alice? Well, guess what? She started back. At Sony this week. I don't know if it doesn't matter. Everyone knows we work together. Everyone knows where I work. So she's back to work. She's back at the day job, and she's got to also catch up on her comic because someone here, I'm not going to point fingers at anyone, decided they were going to take her to Fan Expo, and then we went out and we did that, and then partied and was social all damn night, and now she's also behind on her comics. So she's got deadlines, she's got day job, it's all coming ahead, but hopefully she'll be back next week as well.
You're just a bad influence, Ryan. What can you say?
Whoa, I said no pointing fingers. Skylar Davis is also here. Jack Knight 73, Rabbit McGavin. Oh, I like saying that. Rabbit McGavin. Right next to Rabbit McGavin is Cougar McGillicuddy. I'm liking where this is going. Chad Stewart, master of the charts, Brian Brink. Jamil Parks is here as well. Oh man, look at this. Christopher Alcron. I like that. And Randall Guzik, Darren Coates. Oh, I'm glad he's here because I have to remind you about something here later in regards to Darren Coates, Alex, when we are off the air. And nice. Tony Johnson is here as well. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Let's get right into it. You had a very great day. You had a great morning, Alex, I feel.
Yeah.
And I had a very stressful Toy Sweats morning. You and I looking at the same thing with different different
two sides of the equation,
right?
Yeah, Ryan messaged me on Instagram, half an hour, an hour before it went live.
An
We
hour
we were
before it
both.
went live, and I was like, "Dude, I'm already refreshing like a psycho." Because I didn't want to miss it. I was I, I understand. I don't know. I might be speaking out of turn here. Let me know if I am, Alex.
Mhm.
Before the night before it came out, people were already kind of like, "What? Only 1,000 of these rogues?"
Yeah,
And people were getting kind of uppity, and not uppity. Uppity is not the right word. I would say like
again, the toy anxiety
they were
setting in.
having legit toy anxiety, and it was crazy. Like it was just like, and I was like, okay. I saw it, but already before I was like, you know what? I just need to get like as soon as it goes up, I'll order it. Then it's just out of my way because I'm in that mentality. If I wait, then I just forget,
Yeah.
right? And so I was like, 10 o'clock. I don't have a meeting till 10:15. This actually works perfect. And then I got like nervous. Like there was something in the air with this figure where all of a sudden I was like, and then sure enough, Mad Hatter from Mad Hatter Reviews, he texts me not soon after I messaged you, Alex, and then he's texting me and he's like, "Hey, so you you doing this rogue thing like right off the bat?" And I was like, "Oh, dude, me too." He's like, "I'm so." And he was stressed out.
Mm.
Then I messaged like, and of course, before that, there was a Marvel Fan First
Yeah,
on
right.
Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah, that was a good, like, getting you pumped,
It
like.
was. It was. I think that made things worse too because people were like ready to buy. So even like Ryan Ting from the Marvel Legends team, he messages me and he's like, "Okay, I I'm I'm gonna get this rogue." And then he messages me again too, like 5 minutes to go. And I'm like, at this point,
Well,
palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti, and and I was like, I had everything set up. I had everything set up for logging in on the Mondo website the night before, making sure everything was there, making just sure all my cards were in
backup
place, just
servers and
everything. I was like,
a
all this,
generator just in case the power goes out.
you name it. Like I was ready to go, and my gut instinct served me well because 10 o'clock, I hit refresh, I ordered it. It wasn't even 10:01 yet. I got it. I think right at 10:01, I think I messaged you again, which would have been 12:01 Central. And I was already like, got it. And then, of course, all of us, myself and Ryan and Hatter, and we're all like, got it, got it, got it. We're like,
Yeah,
yeah. 3 minutes later, sold out.
yeah,
1,000 figures. Uh,
yeah.
so take me through that.
Rogue proved to be, very popular, and I mean, first, just, like, saying that when you said that Ryan Ting, got one was like, do you think he was on the set where they do the Marvel Legends, panel? Like, do you like, because like it was one at one, maybe it was an hour in between, but I feel like it was like their presentation led into this. So like, I like the idea of him like, on that set, like with a
Yeah,
computer, check, hitting refresh.
it was
Um,
so yeah, I loved it. It made for a fun day for us who wanted it because if you see I feel like everyone I know who wanted this got it. But we were
y-
also in that headspace of like, don't sleep on this because there was like there's that meme culture with Rogue, of course,
right.
with the cake, right?
It's a factor.
Right? It's a factor. Meme culture is a factor. Whether we like it or not, it is.
Yeah,
And she is one of the most popular characters in Marvel Comics, period.
yeah,
Uh, for a lot of for a lot of young boys, this was probably one of their first cartoon crushes as well.
yeah.
Uh, there's just a lot going on with Rogue, and plus, Alex, you know what? This is a beautiful, beautiful figure. I know you've heard me talk at nauseum about how amazing this toy is. You and Zulu, 1984. Zelu,
I say Zelu, but
Zelu.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
1984.
Zelu.
Who did the painting? Right.
Yeah,
He
beautiful paint job.
just out like you guys are this like master team. Like it was just it's so good. And
especially because he paint, like for like a, the sort of delicate features, he's really good at that. So it's nice to like have the sculpt like, handled with that kind of like finesse,
yeah, and again,
And
let
the
me know for
animated stuff he just nails too. Like he just has like this the sense of for like how to do animated cell shading.
yeah.
Um
But Shiny Plastic People is here. I also want to say hi to Allison as well. Go check out their channels, please. It's great
um
stuff. I want to tackle this question, and just let me. You can tell me to shut up if I'm out of line at any point.
mhm. Yeah.
Tony Johnson, is 1,000 the normal exclusive size? So I'm going to say, from someone who's been watching this website like a hawk, I feel like for the last last few months, I would say yes. Like the 1,000 for these is the norm. And the 1,000, like you could still get the limited edition Jubilee,
Yeah.
right? Gambit was there for months. I mean, the limited edition Omega Red, he was there for a couple months.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Omega was 1,000, and that was, he eventually did sell out, but,
he did eventually, but it wasn't
it wasn't 5 minutes, right? Like,
right. It wasn't 5 minutes. So, I mean, if you're good, if Mondo is looking at how other things are going, regardless of who the character is, they're probably going to say 1,000 seems right.
mm.
Uh, just by
My
just by the numbers and how the other ones were moving. But yeah, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
mean, I'm to be honest, I'm not involved with that side of things. With that it's a lot of data, a lot of planning goes into these decisions.
Yeah,
But I guess I will say that sort of the lesson from this is if you want something, uh, don't wait on it, right? Like
yeah,
don't risk that it might be gone because I mean, like you said with this, it's like Rogue's so popular. You look at the limit size and I think if you are keeping up on the news and stuff, like you will sort of think like, okay, I need to be there hitting the refresh button, at 11:55, like get there early, don't leave it to chance if you can, right? So
yeah. And I know
I mean,
Durant's
it's stuff
saying
we're all used to it as collectors, right? Like, it's,
it's
I think we've
true.
all been there at one point or another.
It's true. And I totally get where people are coming from too, because I'm pretty sure some people were like, these haven't been selling out, so I am gonna just hang tight. And then there's literally, like I said, like when I texted people, I said I feel like a psycho. I'm here like just in case my timing was off on what Central Time meant. Like I got nervous.
Yeah,
Like it
right.
was just like it was legit toy anxiety. I think when I
Yeah.
tell Hatter, I'm like, I'm sitting here sweating. I'm sitting here in my own sweat and in my own shit because I won't leave to go to the washroom in case something drops. Like it was crazy. But yeah, Durant's asked like it would be nice for them to produce more. Hey, you never know, because guess what? We got the return of Gambit.
Well,
Like
and and it's the regular version of Rogue is still available, still
and it's
up
still
on there,
available.
so you can get Rogue. Like just
Yes,
to be clear, like if you want Rogue, like
yes.
and honestly, like yeah, I mean the extras are nice to have, but like I
This is
poured
the
everything into the figure, right? I poured I put my all into this this figure of Rogue, and so I think like and yeah, I mean, I think I've heard some people say that like, oh, I want to display her with the certain portrait or whatnot, but I mean, I think that I always try to make sure that like the base figure alone is like if that's what you're displaying, that's
yeah,
going to be the most like iconic version, right?
right.
Um,
And here's the other thing too, folks. I just want to like make this like I saw someone put, because Mondo, you and Hector and and Attack Peter, this guy
oh,
right
hey.
here. Uh, you guys did a stream yesterday as well,
Mm.
talking and promoting about it, answering a lot of these fan questions that some people are still asking today. And someone wrote in the comments, because I shouldn't read the comments, but I just like seeing my friends get praise. So I had to take a look. But someone was like, everyone don't buy the don't buy the regular figure because then they'll be forced to release the, it was a sad comment is what it was.
Yeah,
I wish I
yeah.
had, don't buy it or leaving money on the table, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and someone actually replied to it saying, hey, if you don't buy this figure, we do not get more figures. So, and that's spot on. So I just want to make sure everyone knows, if you want Storm, who was on the lead for that poll that you guys did, if you guys want Nightcrawler, Mr. Sinister, if you wanted a man bat sized Sauron, I'm just throwing that out there, by the way. That's not these are all names. I have nothing. I have no confirmation. I want to make that very clear. But I'm saying, if you want this line to continue, if you want more figures like this, you got don't sit on these. Don't sit on these just because you don't have the base that you want. This is still super important for us. And I know I sound like I'm totally shilling. And it's like, I know it sounds, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If I missed that limited edition Rogue, if I missed it, I still would have bought this with a little bit of pout in my lip, but I still would have bought it. Like, there's hands down. So
yeah, I mean, and also to your point, it's like with any toy line, like, support it if you like it, and if you want to see more of it, because it's a give and take, and it's, we can only keep making these as long as people keep wanting them, right? So it's all it's an ecosystem, right? It's like the fans are just as much a part of it, and it's, the things that we see here like affect things later on, and it's sort of this it's more of a, like I said, like an organic ecosystem than a machine that's just going to keep moving along regardless. Like, no, it's like cause and effect. Like these things do actions do have consequences, right? Like,
and remember, folks, at the end of the day, it is just a toy, but this is a beautiful toy. This is a
thank you.
This is a piece.
Right? It's Rogue. I mean, you gotta go all out for Rogue. I mean, but that's the thing too, is like, I'm such a huge X-Men fan, that I feel like a tremendous responsibility to make these as good as they can possibly be. I mean, obviously that goes without saying, but X-Men in particular, it's like I really stress over getting it to feel, as good as I can possibly make it. And
dude, you go above and beyond. I'm just gonna say that now. Jevons 24 is saying, like, saving up for Gambit regular before it's gone again. I said I have to save up too. It was a very expensive week for me.
I mean, no, I understand. Like, for sure.
Yeah, and but really looking forward to Superman the animated series this year. Though I don't. Oh, that was Superman was announced. Was it
Spider-Man the animated
series?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like. I was like, I don't remember seeing a Superman figure.
No. That's,
okay.
Should the SP task?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. And are you sculpting any of those?
So everything that's been revealed, which is the regular Spider-Man, the symbiote Spider-Man, and the Venom. So
that's
I'm super lucky to sculpting Venom was really fun too, like really cool, and such a cool character.
Johnny Cox saying, I want Psylocke. Dude, trust me, yes. But if Alex but only if Alex sculpts her, and I will be obligated to buy 2. You know what's funny, Alex, is that I think if Mondo said, hey, we're going to do a Women of X-Men 1/6 scale line, I think you guys would be Scrooge McDuck at the end of that.
Well, that's I mean, because that's one of the unique things about X-Men, right? Is like, especially like the cartoon, is there are as many women on the team as men. So like, it's like they have the best female characters in comics in one team, so I do think that, Rogue, obviously like Jubilee, but like, Rogue starts to get us into that, the Storm, Jean Grey, Psylocke, like, these are extremely important characters to
Mystique,
X-Men.
Emma Frost.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, especially when you look at like our villains, like Magneto and Sabretooth, that picture where it's like our X-Men so far versus the villains, it's like I gotta see a Mystique in there at least.
Mystique. The other one I can't wait for, which I have a feeling too would make a very, not to like poo-poo on anyone's parade, because I don't want anyone in the chat mad at me when I say this, but I think another great San Diego Comic-Con exclusive at some point would be Spiral.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
that
It's
Marvel Legend is so great. All the just the way all the arms work and everything. Like,
I think
yeah.
everyone should just do what I do. Buy both.
Yeah.
Just do what I do. I
Spiral and
support both of them.
spiral, mini spiral.
Yes, I love the Marvel Legends team. I love that line. I am not going to be giving up that line for any other scale, but also at the same time, if I see something that I like, such as these figures, I will grab them. I will just maybe sacrifice something else from another toy line, but it just means, you know, choose your battles, right?
Yeah,
And choose
I
them
think
wisely.
they're obviously two like very different
Oh,
expressions of the property, right? Like,
absolutely. That's like saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy a jacket and a shirt of X-Men." It's different,
yeah, yeah.
right? But yeah, no, I just want to say congratulations again on that and getting that you know, just getting
And yeah,
that's
and
got
I
to
want
feel
to say
good.
thank you to everyone who showed up to support the line and support Rogue. Like that, you know, really makes all of us on the team at Mondo feel great, feel really good.
Right. That's Alison Troy. That's why we never have to worry about Todd doing X-Men toys. He wouldn't be able to handle having to do all those ladies. You correct. Correct. Todd McNuggets. For anyone that watched Toy Anxiety yesterday. Derek Coates, I'm a broken record, need Bishop, Beast, Storm, and Juggernaut. Dude,
Yep,
agreed.
definitely.
Agreed. Right?
I mean, all these are going to be preaching to the choir for me. It's like
Yeah. It's
all of them. Yeah, I mean,
it's so good.
yeah.
But yeah, let's see here. Let's go to our next thing. I'm just trying to see what else was there. Because speaking of Todd, I think that's where I was going with this. Speaking of Todd, did you see the little video that they made of the next wave of
Oh,
toys?
I heard it.
You heard it.
I mean, I
Well,
heard,
it's
yeah,
funny
saw
because
and heard.
that's what I heard it too. Let me know, folks, if any of this sounds familiar to you. I don't know about you, but this song is sounding pretty familiar, Alex. Can he?
How do we do a copyright strike?
Yeah, what is happening here? What is happening in a world where Todd McFarlane, the McFarlane Toys, is using our theme for their multiverse? Someone, hey, you at McFarlane Toys, one of you is watching this. So I want you to know, hey, we're on to you. We're on to you being on to us. So with that said, make more women. Just do it. Just do it. Right?
Not just more Wonder Women.
No, we need more. Just stop making men for 2 years and catch up with the women. That's it. And that goes for superpowers.
Where's Talia al Ghul?
Yeah. Oh,
We don't got a Talia al Ghul.
Todd McFarlane. Oh God, this is going to sound awful. Todd McFarlane was on a channel that I don't really know about doing an interview, but somebody flagged it to me on the Geek Dad Life Discord. And he actually mentioned wanting to do superpowers playsets. Or that it is a possibility at the very least. So I also want to just point that out. That's
we got
pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got to do our fantasy playset booking.
Oh, absolutely, 100%
superpower style.
100%, 100%. All right, we're gonna keep going. I like that. I love fantasy booking playsets. I think. All right, let's keep going with the wonderful news as we were talking about earlier, and kind of sticking with X-Men before we get into our Marvel versus DC conversation and amalgams. They dropped a X-Men trailer. We'll try to go through this quickly because we're already like 12 minutes in. Holy moly. Like I said, big news today. So I took some screen grabs because now I'm nervous again.
Right, of course.
About everything all the time. So they dropped an X-Men 97 trailer. Loved it.
So good.
So good. And I love that it kind of kicks off with this. We get this totally sets up everything where we're at and kind of what we're doing as like they're bringing in some modern things. It's not
It looks like I'm seeing some jumbo carnation looks, some fashion from.
Right. They even mention it right here at the top, the Hellfire Gala.
And is
Right?
that maggot underneath dust?
I think that
Yeah.
that is. Yep. Dusk and then Banshee. It looks like Marrow, who's also
Wait, is that
on the wanted poster. I think so. Someone
No,
correct
that
me if I'm
can't.
wrong. Is that someone else? Am I going crazy?
Oh no, it might be Stacy X.
Oh.
Crazy. This show's
Oh.
getting crazy.
Right? But Marrow on this wanted poster. You can't
Oh
really see it,
yeah.
right? She's kind of there.
Dude, Marrow in this show? Come on.
Come
Bring
on.
it.
Come on. The more figures we get here, the more Mondo can do. Let's
Yeah. Yeah.
right. Same
Come
with the
on.
Legends, right? Same with the Legends team. Oh,
This just means I'm gonna keep pitching Maggot in every meeting.
right. And everyone's saying like, oh, Daily Bugle is
Yep.
Spider-Man a mutant?
Spider-Man.
Is that Spider-Man going to make a guest appearance?
Is he gonna date Marrow for a second? We'll see.
I'm trying to think. The only time he dated an X-Men was an Ultimate Spider-Man, where he dated Kitty Pryde for a little bit. Which, by the way, that was genius. Whoever decided that,
she only dates guys named Peter, or maybe she dates all guys named Peter.
Oh, even better. I love
Bobby,
it. Yeah, but this is so good. What a great way to kick it off. And then we go right to here. This is in the here it's stop mutants, die mutie die, right? All that kind of stuff. Come back where you came from. This is very, very real world stuff that we're still dealing with right now. So, which sucks, which is why I feel more than ever, especially within the last 10 years, we've needed the X-Men in our faces, I think, more than anything. Because Mary on the streets, Stacy X in the sheets. I like that. But again, they're bringing in that real world stuff that's happening. We see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I've been thinking that for many years now. It's like, man, like we really need the X-Men. Like we need that message. We need, this to be,
when 2020 came around, I was like, and all the protests were happening, I was like, oh my, I am living inside Chris Claremont comic book right now. Why?
Not to get too deep into it, but in the Art of X-Men book by Eric and Julia Lewald, it has their like the series Bible from the original show, and they outline sort of like there's a description of the world of the X-Men. It's like, oh, it's similar to our own, but like everything is taken to sort of a dystopian extreme, right?
Right.
And I'm reading like their description. It's like that's the world we're living in now, in a lot of ways. Like,
and I get where Derlax's coming from. I get enough of the real world though, but like that's why we need the X-Men.
And that's why, and that's why it's like that's sort of like that's the purpose of escapism, right? It's like so that we can deal with some of these real world issues in a place that is removed, so it's not so in your face, but you can still deal with the emotion of it.
Correct. And like without this, there is no X-Men, because they're legit like they are affected by bigotry and hatred and prejudice.
Real quick, one last like little I know we're spending too much time, but like there's a great X-Men annual. It's like one of the stories in the back towards the back of the X-Men annual, and I think it's written by Dan Slott. And it's Jubilee who's like new to the team, or it's like a flashback where she's just new and she's familiarizing herself with like the Cerebro database of all the X-Men's greatest foes, greatest villains. And Wolverine's there, and she's like, he's like, oh, who do you think our greatest villains are, or whatever? And she's like, oh, well, like there's like the upstarts when they were new at the time, and the Reavers and Mr. Sinister, and the Brotherhood, and walking through like, oh, the Sentinels, Magneto. And she's like, oh, I know who the X-Men's like greatest villain must have been. It's like Dark Phoenix, right? You know, like she, you know, almost destroyed the world. And then Wolverine's like, no, that's not it. And he like clicks a button, and it's you know, a picture of protesters, you know,
Friends of Humanity, right
yeah,
there, right?
bigots with the signs. He's like, this is the X-Men's greatest enemy.
Yep.
And that's like, and it's, yeah, it's absolutely true. Like, you know, when I think that's one of the greatest strengths of the X-Men concept. It's what helps it endure the test of time. And yeah, it is that real world, you know, their ultimate foe is a very real world foe.
Correct. Yes. Agreed. Like, this is, of all the fantastical stuff in X-Men, the villains are the less fantastical part.
Yeah.
Right? It's and the story and the message. But I digest. Then of course we get that first line from Wolverine. They replaced the cigarette with a toothpick. Classic like, I love how they got around that. Like, it was just, I know why they're not doing it, but because he never smoked in the cartoon to begin with. But I love that they're like, let's just give him a toothpick. Let's just give him that. Let's just give him that look. And probably one of the most talked about things from the trailer.
I got something to say here too.
Do it.
All right. So, you know, we don't see the full clip here. We don't see where this goes. But this appears to be Gambit kinetically charging Wolverine's claws, which are a part of his skeleton. So does this mean that Wolverine's skeleton is going to explode? Now, granted, it's coated in adamantium, so that'll protect the skeleton from blowing apart. But all the meat that's on top of the skeleton, that's going to explode out.
Correct.
So I'm thinking, so he's basically like a human grenade. Like, you know, just all of his, you know, flesh is just going to explode onto whoever they're fighting. I'm thinking what we're witnessing here is the birth of the Meatball Special.
Oh, clever. Okay. Meatball Special.
I haven't seen that take. I haven't seen that coined anywhere, but you heard it here first, folks. Forget Fastball Special. Now we're looking at Meatball Special.
Yes, I like that. The one thing that always threw me off on here wasn't even the charging of the claws, where, like, because it's just going to make a big explosion when he hits I think, to be honest, I think this whole trailer is the first episode.
You don't think we're going to see chunks of Wolverine like flying at a Sentinel, maybe?
Depends on how violent they're allowed to go on this show.
Yeah, no, I don't think we'll see it, but maybe in the comics somebody will.
But like, Wolverine's like what, 5'6", 5'5"?
I think he's like 5'3".
Gambit's like what, 6'3"?
Yeah. How is he riding it on him?
Like, and how is Wolverine just like, I'm just gonna keep running like normal? Like, but it's a cool visual. It is like one of the coolest visual. If you're not gonna think about it, right? See, and like, Andrew's already with me too, right? Also, Remy is much taller than Logan, but riding him like an ox, 100%. It's one of those things.
Wolverine's strong. You know, it's that adamantium skeleton can support a lot. But like,
yes,
what I love about this is that it is something new. It's something new that I haven't seen before in any X-Men anything. So even though this it's like giving us like the nostalgic beats, it's still like introducing a cool new idea that like we never have seen or thought of before. And I like the implication that the X-Men are learning some new tricks, and maybe we'll see multiple, you know, mutants working together, like powers in tandem kind of thing. Like I could see that being like new training they're doing. Like, I think that could be really cool.
I can see Cyclops being like, okay, switching things up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could totally
learn some new tricks. Although, you know, so I'm expecting like a Storm Beast static electricity kind of situation.
I'm still down. Jevons 44 is saying, I think it's rated to the equivalent to PG-13 television. So with that said, I hope we get one fuck per episode.
Literal or verbal?
Depends who. I was gonna say if Forge was in here, then I would then maybe Forge and Storm.
Yeah, are we gonna see the Forge Storm relationship finally.
Yeah, I'm wondering which because again they've shown us. Hang on, let's just go to it. Let's just go to the. That's the hip skate party again. This is at the very beginning. I just want to say I think this is here later on in the trailer when they're in that nightclub, which, by the way, they're clearly not IDing people because Jubilee just walks on in. So.
Well, hey, wait a minute. So, I mean, because it's the original cartoon started in 92 and now it's 97. So how old was Jubilee was she like 15 and
15? So I'm going to guess she's about 17, 18 here. She's still looking pretty young though. But again, you know what? So do a lot of people that are 18 years old. Right?
That's a good catch. That's a good catch though, Ryan.
Right? So it's I'm
beginning to think, rocking his
man,
Dolverine look.
I could smell it. Right? It's a Davey Sock Rocker. Thank you for being here, Davey, as well. It's an 18 and over club, no booze. How about boo?
Booze. It looks like Rogue is wearing the same outfit she wore in the mall in the first episode of the original series. So
yeah, I kind of wish Gambit had some street clothes going, and Morph's looking pretty. So
Morph's he's back on the team,
right? AJ, maybe they're in Quebec. Actually, they could be in Canada. That's very fair.
Wolverine's dressed as Dolverine. It's
Dolverine.
Probably true.
They could be in Alberta as well, where it's also 18 years of age. It's that is such a fair point. But again, this I'm going to post this on my Instagram story. I want people to chime in. What song do you think would be playing if they walked into a nightclub? I think
it would be "Do You Believe in Life After Love?"
Yeah, not
Cher. Although I don't remember when that came out. Maybe that's
I'm for it though. I love it. This is probably the most iconic shot to me. I know everyone's probably talking about the one where it's like, to me, my X-Men, which again, chills. But
here we're getting pregnant referee Jean Grey, and that is
but
that's
dude,
that's the new figure that I'm just gonna pitch endlessly.
How often is it these days that we get topless Wolverine, we're getting topless Gambit, we're getting crop top Storm?
Yeah.
Right? And
it's a great look for Storm.
It's this well, and Beast is always shirtless, but I don't think they really count him. But it's
he's always on the Skins team.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Could be shirts and skins. I didn't even think of that. This to me was like this outside of to me my X-Men. This shot is the most iconic shot because I love that issue number 4 of X-Men. The 2-on-2 basketball. Those are with Excalibur, like the Excalibur team. Outside of that, my most wanted action figures ever is them all playing basketball.
Yeah.
Or even if they did ones of a box set of them playing baseball. I just want. I like it when my X-Men.
That's one of the great things about the X-Men is that they play sports. Like you see them, like that's the brilliant thing about Chris Claremont. It's like, they play sports and they're together, and it makes them like they're very relatable. Like they have a rich inner life when they're not going on crazy adventures.
Whoa! Shiny plastic people. Coming in with spoilers, coming in hot. It's not Jean.
I've heard this theory. I've heard this theory that it's not Jean.
Well, it makes sense because if you've seen the Wave 2 of Marvel Legends, and if you've read any comics,
but maybe they changed it up. Like it's I think that could work. Like Cable is the son of Cyclops and Jean. It's like
could be Rachel in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Man, I can't wait for this show.
Right? I cannot.
The most exciting thing about this image for me, I think, is Cyclops with a backwards baseball hat.
I love this. Like,
I don't know why that makes sense, but it does.
If Mondo ever had to have a reason to be like, well, we have to do these characters again, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. I
Hector's
would
a huge fan of the basketball looks for the X-Men, so it comes up quite a bit.
right. Same here, and I had to put
Yeah,
it
there
in
you
here
go.
anyways. This is it. This is the look. I should have saved the panel. There's a shot where Gambit's like charging the basketball, and Jubilee is like giving this like sneer and adjusting her
We said
glasses.
no
I'm like,
powers.
oh man, it's so good.
Yeah.
This scene's so good.
And it's like very faithful, like they're at least with Rogue, you know, it's like she's wearing exactly that costume. So it's like it's clear that the people working on X-Men 97 are looking at the comics really carefully. I know they played basketball as well in the original cartoon, but like
Yep.
just going back to the 90s X-Men, like
Katie said, that panel turned to me gay. I think it did to all of us at some extent. Doesn't matter who you are. Everyone, like, I don't know what I'm turned on about in this photo, but in this panel, but I'm doing it.
Certainly made ponytails seem like a good idea.
Ponytails
Gambit
and hats.
probably led so many people astray in terms of their follicle styling.
It's true. Especially at that time, right? Like a lot of dudes had the long hair and ponytail.
I'll be cool, a long ponytail.
It's like there's a
trench coat.
I was like, you're gonna go either way. You're either going to look as good as Gambit, which is gonna be a 1%. The rest of you are probably gonna look maybe a little more like Silent Bob if you keep wearing that trench coat. So you've got two trench coat guys, long hair.
Charged.
You're gonna have you're gonna have two different looks. You know, like it's too it again. This is to me. This was a very exciting trailer. I was, you know, I try not to fall into that nostalgia trap, but like I said, I'm starving for X-Men.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it, and I did not see, just because of the Deadpool trailer dropping. The last thing I was expecting was a 97 trailer drop, and with dates as well. So again, the trailer is going to be, I think they said like March 20th. Regardless, the episodes are going to be dropping on Wednesday. So we're going to spend a half an hour each episode, and we're going to break down the episodes, and we're going to bring in some special guests. I've been talking to some people who've even worked on the show to come jump on with us and talk with us as well. And I'm totally stoked. There we go. Right. The Deadheads, I think, nailed it. RVD, Rob Van Dam. He looks great in a ponytail. I believe, right? The Gambit was as popular as the Rachel. Medic Mike, thank you for being here as well. Alan,
yeah,
he amalgamed.
Alan Broll.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I'm the combination of Alex Brewer and Ryan Doell.
That's right.
I'm a Canada American.
Yeah. Canada American. I like that. That's awesome. Okay, let's get into our big topic was DC versus Marvel, and this is the one I kind of chose for today because again they're talking about bringing back and re-releasing crossovers.
Speaking of things coming back from the 90s, right?
Yeah, right. Crossovers, and again I think both companies are probably saying we need money, and crossovers do that, and it's been a long time. It's been well over 20 years. I think this was the last one, right? Justice League Avengers.
Right. When was that, like 2000-ish?
Someone in the chat will probably know before me. I can't find it. 2004. Oh. So this was, oh my gosh.
Yeah, wow.
We're talking Ryan, 20 years ago.
We're old.
We are
old guys.
This doesn't feel that way. I was like, this came out like what, 2010, 2012? That's what this feels. That's what this feels like to me. So 2004, and this is again George Perez at his best. Rest in peace, George Perez. Amazing stuff. Him and Kurt Busiek are amazing team. But yeah, that was 2004, and I guess a lot of these are going to be getting some reprints, which is great. I'm hoping that this is too. And because they're talking about these crossovers and re-releasing them, my big want has always been DC versus Marvel 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do some fantasy booking, and I've also wanted to see the return of Amalgam with
Yeah, of course.
just do it. Whatever. Who cares? Let's just do it. But I came up.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I gotta highlight this from Shiny Plastic People. Give us Amalgam toys. We need Spider Boy at least.
At
Just like,
least.
can't we all just get along just long enough for us to get a Spider Boy? Come on.
Okay, speaking of that, so I thought it would be, because you know how it's like got to do like just when they do their Amalgam comics and they do
Yeah.
their like takes on it. There's two that I thought of that this is what I would love to see. One would be Into the Super Soldier Verse. Because I was like,
Yeah.
you can't just do Into the Spider Boy verse, because that's just Spider Verse.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
it is.
right.
But if you do Into the Super Soldier verse, then you can have like, then it's like going into the Super Verse and Captain America verse. So you could have like Super Britain,
Mm-hmm.
right? Super
Yeah.
Guardian, like the Canada one. You could do all this stuff, bring it all. It would almost be a take again, as well as the Captain Britain Corps.
Yeah. Or is
Right.
there a Legion of Superheroes, right? But is there
There's
like a Legion of Supermen in one of the futures? Like, is there precedent for a team of super? Well, there's the 4 Supermen that like came on the scene after he got killed, but
right.
something like that.
But it's it's going to be 2 omnibus, but it's, again, depending what's in, I'm gonna want it. I can't help it. But I did come up with a short list. Did you come up with a list of matches, or did you just do amalgams today?
I just did amalgams.
Okay.
I can't resist.
I'm gonna do a quick list. Stop me at any point in time if there's any that you think are cool or suck or like you'd want to watch or see or whatever. So I'm going kind of based off this. So for those who don't know, we got like Wolverine versus Lobo. We got Spider-Boy or Superboy versus Spider-Man. I'm already doing it. Hulk, Superman, Captain America, and Batman, and Wonder Woman and Storm, which, by the way, was one of my favorite amalgams. Amazon.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah,
That was
definitely
one of my
one of the
favorite
best.
So I'm kind of going based off this just a little bit, as I'm trying to do just new matchups completely, no rematches, including characters we have not seen yet. So I wanted to do Damian versus X-23.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think these are a couple I mentioned from last week already, but these are just ones that are always in my head.
Have you worked out who would win?
Oh, the fans. No, I hate that I hate that answer so much. Who would I have win? I think I would have X-23 win because of the healing factor. But it would be bloody. There will be blood.
You know that Damien would find a way. It would be the meatball special. You know, he'd find a way. She'd get blown up and have to, like, you know, just be a skeleton.
It's true. Damien's pretty stealthy too. Plus, he's got that man bat. I think there's a lot of advantages there, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of fun to see X-23 have to go through the League of Assassins to get to Damien. Like, there's a lot there. I think you could really play with that. I think that would make a really good just issue on its own. The other one is, this one's an obvious one. 2 sidekicks brought back from the dead. Bucky, Winter Soldier versus the Red Hood.
Yeah.
That's a given. That's
same gimmick around the same time.
It would end with both of them hugging and crying. Discovering they have very similar trauma.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's good. Everyone keep dropping your verses in here too, because I'll get to them.
Squirrel versus Animal Man. That's a great one.
That's a great one. Yes. But we will get through them. I promise.
I thought you might do it. You could do like a amalgam. You do like Ambush Squirrel.
Oh, that's actually really good. I like that. This is kind of the play on Spider-Man versus Superboy. Spider-Gwen versus Supergirl. And then we get Super Gwen as the amalgam.
Nice.
Which I think would be a lot of fun. This one is the fight that I think that should have happened in the first book. Iron Man versus Batman. Seems like a total gimme now at this point. Iron Man's an A+. He went from C level to A+.
They're
thanks
both
to the
rich
movies.
guys.
Both rich guys with gadgets. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Batman Beyond versus 2099. Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Brilliant, Doell. We gotta see that.
We gotta see it, and it has to take place in the future. It has, right? Because then you get Spider-Boy Beyond 2099.
Yeah.
Right, or something. Like it would
Yep.
just be. It would be so. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would do Hulk versus Red Lantern Atrocities.
Wait, would it be Red Hulk? Would it be? Oh, yeah. Atrocitus.
Atrocitus.
Would it be Red Hulk?
Who maybe? Either way, I just thought that would be because they're both rage. It's just they're both rage-filled characters.
Oh, very smart.
So at one point, Hulk would get a ring, and then it would just be two Red Lanterns just duking it out.
Just giant Hulk hands made out of energy.
Yes, and now with that spectrum of the colors of the rings and stuff too, I think there's like you could see Captain America getting a blue ring. You know what I mean? Like there's lots. There's again, you do this crossover now,
like
folks.
Combined with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh my god!
They probably did that in the last.
All the rings and the gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody draw that, please.
This one's good. Emma Frost versus Talia al Ghul.
Oof, that'd be cold. There'd be a lot of looks, a lot of serving cunt, as they would say in that fight. I would do Captain America Steve Rogers tag teaming with his best friend, Captain America. Right? Both of them. Two caps.
Oh, yeah, Captain America. Yeah, Captain America. What about Steve Rogers and Steve Trevor?
Ooh, that would work. But I was gonna do two caps versus two lanterns.
Oh. Who's the Marvel Lantern?
No, so it would be like Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan. Why am I blanking on Falcon's name?
Oh, yeah, Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson, thank you.
Yeah.
Sam Wilson and now
Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers. Jeez Louise.
That's awesome.
Right? So I would have them be like a tag team because they have like, same mantles. They use their powers slightly different. 3 of them are in the military. Sorry, Hal. Well, he's kind of like, I mean,
isn't he
he's a test pilot? Yeah, he's Air Force. So I mean, like to me, that works. I thought that would be a fun one to do because we don't get 2-on-2s really on this. So I'm kind of thinking because I was trying to think of like a good wrestling card. What would I do? Did I mention Rogue versus Power Girl?
No, but that's great. That's awesome.
And it's fan service. I would have Adam Hughes or Babs Tarr would be drawing that.
Babs Tarr, yeah, or Amanda Connor.
Amanda Connor.
Yeah.
I was going to save Amanda Connor for this one.
Oh.
Harley Quinn versus Deadpool.
Yeah, of course.
That's a low-hanging fruit one. This one's another low-hanging fruit one. Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel.
Yeah. For sure.
That one has to happen. The Sentry versus Superman.
Yeah. Right, because we didn't have Sentry before.
Right. And I would do as a fun issue. Don't get mad at me because I said I want to have fun with this as well. I think it would be a fun, silly comedy issue. Kevin Maguire, let's get you on this book. Eddie Brock versus Jimmy Olsen in a photo challenge.
That's great. But Jimmy Olsen has to become Venom because he's always becoming different things, right? Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Gotta be turned into a Venom. Right? I've been turned into a Venom and I'm going to kill my friend Superman.
Well, first I was thinking Peter Parker versus Jimmy, and I was like, no, that's too nice and too nice. I need one guy who's cheating. So it almost be like Kenny versus Spenny. Yeah, it's like
Although
Kenny
I feel like Jimmy Olsen, he'd end up being heel.
Or Jimmy Olsen, well, he would turn heel. It would be like
we learned something about him,
it'd be like Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. There would be a double turn where
I didn't think of it enough, but I would really love the crossover universes to have some sort of like a Woody Buzz Lightyear situation where how Woody is he's when you first meet him, he's the man in charge. He's living his best life. And then this guy shows up that just he's a jerk, he's petty, he's looks horrible in front of his friends. They like have some hero combination where like some pure guy is looking like a total jerk because he's encountered someone who's even more of a Boy Scout.
Right. See, I think that would be that to me. That would be a lot of fun. I was trying to think of ones too where it was like, I was trying to think of something for Black Widow, and like nothing was coming to mind, and I was like, for some reason, I was just blanking. It's just one of those times where you're just like, I want to put in as many like. They kind of showed it in Marvel versus DC or DC versus Marvel, like as a picture of the standoff between Green Arrow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But now we would need like Hawkeye, Kate Bishop against Black Canary,
Arsenal,
just everyone's
Speedy.
like all these characters like duking it out. Actually, Black Canary versus Black Widow. Hadur. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go.
See, I just had to talk it out. Davey Sockrocker, he just had to say like Superman could beat Sentry, but can Superman beat the Void? Right? That's a great question. Gatey's Toys, Harley versus Typhoid Mary, which is another. That would be a lot of fun. This one here you mentioned here, Squirrel Girl versus Animal Man. That would be a lot of fun.
That makes a lot of sense.
Davey Sockrocker, Ms. Marvel versus Ms. Martian. That would be that would be fun. Actually, those two characters it'd be fun because you need interdimensional hookups too. We can't just have Tim Drake and Jubilee have all the fun. Right? Have to think of some of those too. The Lantern Corps versus Nova Corps in space. Again, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
I really like
I'd also kind of like to see I mean, this would be more amalgam, but like combine Guardians of the Galaxy and like Green Lantern, like because obviously there's the Guardians in Green Lantern, but like picturing like a Hal Jordan, Peter Quill mashup, like that just makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that does make sense. Or even if they did Star-Lord versus Starman or Stargirl.
Yeah. Right? Oh yeah, that's cool.
Right, that would work. I like Harley Poole, maybe 2 on the nose. Well, we'll find out. Manic Mike, Darkseid versus Thanos. Again, that's another one that was hinted in Marvel versus DC that happened. But yeah, we should get to see the fight. That's what I want, right? Derek Hoover. Does anyone remember the April issue of Wizard where they did the versus LOL for the month was Bucky versus Jason Todd, and the area is just 2 skeletons in their costumes splayed out to one another? I kind of vaguely remember that now.
That was the first time I heard somebody say the winner, everyone, like the audience or the reader or whatever. That was like my first encountering of that old chestnut. In Wizard magazine. This is a good one. Battle of the Drakes. Bobby Drake versus Tim Drake.
Yes. I like that. Amazo versus Super Adaptoid. What would happen if they adapted each other? Okay, imagine if they did Amazo where he started adapting the powers of the Avengers. Like that would be and they start vice versa. Oh, dude, that'd be so much fun.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, get Justice League and Avengers all in one being, one insane being.
That would be like, oh, dude, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Charlie Square, Daredevil versus Dr. Midnight. Right. Chad Stewart, Mr. Fantastic versus Plastic Man. Of course. What were we thinking?
In a taffy factory.
Elongated Man as referee. Manic Mike, Grim Knight versus the Punisher. That'd be kind of fun. Dude, here's another one that's kind of maybe 2 on the nose. The Batman Who Laughs versus Carnage.
Yeah. I remember they went with like Bizarnage in the previous amalgam, but yeah,
they did. I think now
that's a good one though. Like because you could have the Carnage symbiote like possess Batman Who Laughs, and then it's just everyone's problem.
Davey Sockrocker. Oh, of course, Miles Morales versus Jamie Reyes Blue Beetle. That's brilliant. I would absolutely read that. That is great. Didn't they do Spider-Man 2099 in Amalgam Spider-Boy comics? Did they?
Maybe they taught he like that issue. There is like kind of a Spider-Verse element where he's seeing things from different universes, I think.
Right, but Batman Beyond wasn't part of that yet.
So but yeah. Oh, No, but
right?
Spider-Man 2099 shows up.
Right. But good shout out, Derek Hoover. The Deadheads, Swamp Thing versus Man Thing.
Yeah.
That's again. Who would I get to draw that? Sam Keith.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's just someone who's.
Were you gonna say? I was gonna say go Bernie Wrightson, but we need a time machine.
We need a time machine. Davey Sockrocker, Booster Gold versus Star Lord.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah,
that makes absolute sense, right? Falcon versus Hawkman. Again, both those characters have been elevated as well.
Lion,
right?
Battle in the Sky.
Spider-Man plus the Atom equals Spider-Bite. Oh, we're getting into amalgams already too. Start putting the amalgams in there because we're going to start getting into
and
that.
That sounds cooler than Ant Bite, honestly.
It does. Zach,
Yeah.
everyone go check out Zach's Instagram as well. Lobo versus Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Motorcycle battle.
Oh, just have it be
in space.
Fast and Furious on motorbikes in space. Yes. Oh, here, Davey Sockrocker. Fang Cho has to draw the battle of the, Rogue
so
versus
stupid. Of course,
Of course. Hadur. Right. Gady's Toys always pitted Wonder Woman versus Thor. I think that's actually I completely left Thor out on this. And Thor, who did Thor fight in this? He was about, I think she was about, they swerved us because they did in the comic, Wonder Woman picks up the hammer. She's worthy. And then she tossed it aside and said, no, I'm going to make this a fair fight.
I think she fights Storm, but Thor fights the Hulk.
Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Shazam.
Marvel. Okay, gotcha.
Which also makes
I do kind of feel like, I mean, I guess like Thor Ryan makes a lot of sense, but I also think that you could combine Thor and Wonder Woman in the amalgam world because it's like two mythology
based
characters mixed.
Right. There's Randall Orion versus Thanos. Again, that would be that would be great too. I would get Doc Shaner to draw that. 100%. Chavano, we need a Top Gun beach volleyball scene. Sweat and all. I don't know where you are in the show, but guess what? Whether this is part
I think he's talking about the Kingpin versus the Joker fight.
Wait, where did I miss something?
I'm joking.
But that's funny. I like that. The Professor X versus Max Lord from Allison. Right? Oh, Manic Mike, another low-hanging fruit one. Dr. Fate versus Dr. Strange. Well, we did get Dr. Strange Fate.
Yeah. Who turned out to be Charles Xavier. Who saw that one coming?
Who saw that? Yeah.
I love the multi 3-part amalgams like that.
I like that too. Davey Sockrocker, Black Widow versus Huntress, of course. It's right there. Yeah. Charlie Squared, Rocket versus Nort. Gort? Nort. G silent, right?
But what when there's an apostrophe, what do you do?
Yeah. Oh, Squadron Sinister versus Crime Syndicate, free for all. Absolutely. Manic Mike, Deathstroke versus Deadpool. There, I said it. It's actually perfect too. Now we're fighting. See, this is where the fighting starts, right? Rocket versus Chip. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, you gotta have the two rodent heroes in space.
Yeah, Joker versus Kingpin.
Yeah, that's the one with the beach volleyball.
Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. Oh, here's a Davey Sockrocker, Red Tornado versus Vision.
Yeah, just play chess.
Dr. Doom versus Brainiac from Zach, and then Manic Mike's also Brainiac versus MODOK.
Good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Right, I'm liking that. The
Man, I hope that DC and Marvel are listening to this.
I hope
these are golden ideas.
These are really good. Davey Sockrocker, Black Knight versus Shining Knight, another good one. Brian Brink, Dr. Doom versus Luthor. Of course.
Yeah, that's the one that I would have combined for amalgam.
Jetsuit Rocket Raccoon versus Crypto. No, I'd do Lockheed versus Crypto.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Lockheed versus Crypto and Streaky, because it's not a fair fight otherwise.
Yeah. Randall Guzak, the Warlord versus Kazar. I like
Or
that.
Command D versus Kazar.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be fun. Especially if they did
Battle
it
of
in,
the
like,
blonde shirtless dudes.
right. If you did like the flooded New York with dinosaurs in it, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a movie. We just pitched a movie.
We did
Come
just
on, Hollywood.
we just pitched it. Charlie Square, Doomsday versus Hulk. That's another good one. Right? I'm liking that. Aunt Harriet versus Aunt May. Derek Hoover.
I love it.
I like
That's
that.
the best one.
Galaxian. Here's an outlier, but Bizarro versus Caliban. Right? Yeah,
Yeah, that
right.
makes sense.
Manic Mike, Sauron versus Beast Boy. I love that we're like reaching. Like, this is so much fun. Davey Sockrocker, personal fan choice for me would be Speedball versus Beast Boy.
Oh,
I like that
okay.
one. Right? Jur. Hey, Jur. Thanks for hanging out
Oh,
here.
this also makes a ton of
Squirrel Girl.
sense.
Squirrel Girls, like, those
Tippy
that they should be
Toes versus Chip.
they should be best friends that are forced to fight, just like Robin and
Yeah.
Jubilee, right?
Yeah.
They're forced to do it. Randall Galactus versus the Anti-Monitor.
Yep.
Again, that's brilliant. And Chad Stewart, Banshee versus Black Canary.
Yeah.
Right? America Chavez versus Superboy. Oh, that's a good one too. Good one. Good call out, Davey Sockrocker. All right, everyone, start getting your amalgams ready. Because we're gonna go through this. Alex, this is where this is your time to shine.
All right. Get my presentation.
It is presentation time. I'm gonna tell you right now, folks, you're not ready for what you're about to see. Take us through what you did for your homework.
All right. So this is not necessarily like new characters, but just like maybe potentially different amalgams that they could do this time around. So I always thought that like the Fantastic Four and Doom Patrol. I know people said like compare Doom Patrol to X-Men, but like I think
But weren't
just the
they also
characters
challengers of the
themselves, like
Fantastic?
well, so in the previous
No, that's
amalgam,
different.
it
That's
was
different. That's
no,
different. Doom
but the
Patrol is not
Challengers of the Unknown
known.
is what they
Yes.
combined the Fantastic Four with the last time. But like,
Right. Which
I
makes
think
sense.
that Doom Patrol is like a better fit because it's like,
Yes.
so this is the Fantastic Doom Patrol, and it's instead of Niles Calder, it's the amalgam Doctor Doom who's leading the team, and so it's Lex von Luthor, who's a combination of Lex Luthor and Victor
That's a
Von
great
Doom,
name.
obviously, yeah. And he kind of looks like Professor Xavier too, like in the because there's a little bit of like Niles Calder thrown in there, but
Absolutely.
basically the concept of this is that he like Niles Calder, like Lex von Luthor orchestrates the accident, the negative zone accident that gives the Fantastic Four their powers and abilities, but they don't know that. So they're working for so he's like I'm going to bankroll the trying to cure you all of these the mutations. In the meantime, like why don't you also like you'll be the my Doom Patrol and like protect the world, right? And so changing things up a little bit, you might think like, oh, Elastigirl, Mr. Fantastic. I went with Reed Dayton, aka Mr. Mento. So combined Reed with Mento because I feel like
so good.
zany mental increasing headgear is much more of a Reed Richards kind of thing.
Yep.
Then we've got Rita Storm, aka Elastigirl. So Sue is getting the elastic powers this time around, and also I figure like she's probably the team leader in this version.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like the elastic. Whoever can like stretch and like multitask like that is gonna be the leader of the team, right? So,
agreed.
Then her brother Larry Storm, aka the Human Negative, so Negative
That's
Man
brilliant.
and Human Torch. It's like such a similar gimmick, especially like in the older Fantastic Four comics. Like the Human Torch is just like this, this character that can like do anything basically, and the Negative Spirit kind of occupies the same thing. And plus he gets to wear like the cool sunglasses, which is very Johnny Storm.
Yep.
And I tried my best like Kirby to add Kirby Crackle to the Negative Spirit there. So he'd have the like black and flame thing, but with some Kirby Crackle inside.
Yeah.
And then what made me like sold on this concept is Ben Steele, combination of Ben Grimm and Cliff Steele as the Doombot Man instead of Robot Man. And he's obviously, there wasn't much left of Ben Steele after the accident, but his brain, which Lex von Luthor put into this robot body, into the body of one of his Doombots. And so he's like the muscle of the team.
I love the brow, the Thing brow. Like, it looks like
Yeah,
his face. He's got the build, but he still looks like, oh, dude.
because like
You nailed it.
in Robot Man and the Thing, they're both like kind of orange, strong guy characters, like cursed, and they're trapped in these bodies that are clunky and can't feel, and but then you also have like the Doombots. Like, this is kind of based on the original Jack Kirby Doombots that almost looked like mini Sentinels.
Yep.
Back in the day. So
God, this is so good. When you showed us this morning, I was like, oh, I'm popping hard. This is so good. I love it. Let's go through this one. This one's awesome. I love
Titan
this.
X. Yeah, again, it's like I think they combined the X-Men with the JLX in the 90s. It probably made sense because those were like the two most popular team books, because like
Right.
X-Men was way more popular than the Avengers at the time. So it made sense from like a commercial standpoint. But I think really like X-Men, certainly like 70s Claremont X-Men and 80s Teen Titans, like probably have the most in common in terms of like just the like zeitgeist. So yeah, combined Dick Grayson and Scott Summers to create Night Vision.
That's so good. That's so
Yeah.
good, dude. With the blue X, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it doesn't take much to like tweak and yeah, it's like he's the leader, he's the tactician, like Dick Grayson and Cyclops, it just makes sense. Then
It's
you've got
so good.
your member of the Shi'ar, or the Shi'aranians, or
Right.
Tamar, like Princess Ja'een, aka Firebird. Obviously there's like visual similarities between Starfire and Phoenix, with the long fiery red hair.
Yep.
So it's made sense to combine them here. And then also you have the sort of romance with Nightwing and Cyclops as well.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
This was done in the original Amalgam as well. They combined Beast Boy and the Beast. Just made sense. They called him Beastling, and he was more of just like a green version of Beast. He was on the X Patrol. But so this one is like switching up a little bit, where he's a little more, small, like Beast Boy, but he's got the blue fur like Beast, and he's called Beasts because it's two Beast characters combined. But he also turns into beasts, right? Like,
yes.
And you get to see the different animals he turns into with blue fur instead of green. So yeah, those are Garfield McCoy.
I love it.
And then next to him you've got Cyforge, combination of Forge and Cyborg. Just makes sense, right?
Yeah, all of these do, but yeah, keep going.
And he's got his mutant ability to invent anything, but he's also got his body that he uses to, his inventions are made out of him, right? So,
right.
Yeah, there's nothing he can't MacGyver his way out of.
So good.
Then you've got Raven Maximoff, aka Red Raven. Raven and Scarlet Witch, two magic characters,
and dark based a little bit too, right? Like, it's, dude, these are all perfect. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Her brother Wally Maximoff, aka Quick Flash, which they combined Quicksilver and Impulse in the last one to make Mercury, which is a great name, but Quick Flash just sounds more like Kid Flash. So and then Donna Monroe, aka Rainforest, who's would be the sidekick of Amazon in the Amalgam universe, the same way Donna Troy is was Wonder Girl. But so this, like, if you'll notice, it's like along the side, instead of the stars, it's lightning bolts.
Oh, dude, I noticed right away. I was like, that is so good.
And she'd have this like electrified whip. So yeah, or lasso rather.
Yep, this one's too good. It's too good. It's almost like it wrote it like this was. This feels like a comic that's always existed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because they make sense together. Especially when you see that Nightwing Cyclops. When I thought of that, I was like, yeah, I gotta pursue this.
Yeah, it's so good. I can't imagine like this is Titan's ass. Right? Like it's so good. I could totally see it 100%. This is great too. Another brilliant mashup.
Yeah, so this is Agents of Squad, Suicide Squad mixed with, kind of Thunderbolts, kind of Shield, basically, taking Amanda Waller and Nick Fury, these two sort of shadowy government types that recruit superheroes to make covert elite teams, combined into one. Basically, it's Amanda Waller with an eye patch, which isn't that great? Like, so good. Then, as you pointed out, the similarities between Red Hood, Jason Todd, and Bucky Winter Soldier, they would of course combine to make Red Soldier, the ultimate sidekick back from the dead
Yep.
with issues.
Hey, sometimes low hanging fruit just works.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Sometimes you just gotta do it. And speaking of that, Harley Quinn, not combined with Deadpool, but combined with Gwenpool. So you've got
Oh my god, of
Quinpool.
course.
Because in my headcanon for Amalgam, the Amalgam version of Deadpool is he's combined with Deathstroke, but he's basically it's just one half is Deadpool and the other half is Deathstroke stitched together like Frankenstein. And his name would be like Slade Silson. But yeah, so this is Gwenpool, and it's hard to see from the drawing, but like her little like shark pet, she'd have two, Bud and Lou, basically as the little shark guy, little land shark.
I love it.
And there's also like a little, like on her backpack, there's like a little Dark Claw keychain that's like crudely scribbled in there. And then this one, I'm surprised they didn't do in the last round of Amalgam, but Venom and Bane combined.
Of course, because he uses Venom.
Yeah,
right.
We need to see. Yeah, so he's got like symbiote Venom juice coursing through his veins, and it's turned him into this monstrosity.
Even the masks, I think they blend together so well.
Right. We need to see this.
I love this.
Done professionally at some point. So
yeah.
Then next to him, Ice Queen, a combination of Emma Frost and Killer Frost.
Of course.
Yeah. Emma Frost with ice powers. Just makes sense. And then couldn't resist Thing Shark.
Yeah.
Speaks for himself.
Which is great. Which is great. He's super cute. Like, it's just, I love it. These are, dude, you knocked it out of the park on these. These are so good. These are so good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's fun to do. Once you get going, it's hard to stop.
Right.
And that one of the Agents of Squad, I did just before coming on here. That sketch is fresh.
It is. Even Davey Sawgrass, holy crap, I want to Titan X comics so bad. Yeah, dude. Agreed. Right?
Like, it's into the universe.
It's so, like, yeah, these designs are so much fun. They're so good. And if anyone else wants to check out your art, go check out Fan Plastic 4 on Instagram, because you've also been putting up, like, leading up to Rogue, you were drawing pictures of Rogue.
Yeah.
And they are amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been on a drawing kick.
Man, yeah, don't put it to waste, because these are so good. Right?
Thing Shark just screams a good Safubi toy.
Yes. Can you just pitch it?
Yeah, but it doesn't compare to the Safubi that Jacob Walsh has been showing off in Toy Anxiety. The like, what do you call it? The Kappa in the pickle car.
In the kip, yes.
That thing is so great. That is the character find of the year. I'm calling it now.
Oh, so early in the year. We're already need to see the best stuff.
We need to see more of that. Like that, he needs to find a way to work that in to every Toy Anxiety going forward.
I think that should, now that his real birthday has passed, and we've done the happy birthday, Jacob, for a year.
And happy birthday, Jacob Walsh. I finally get to say it.
I think now should be the pickle car every episode.
Yeah.
For a year.
Yeah. A character find of the year.
Right. It's and even Darren Coates, right? Jealous of your talent, Alex.
Oh, thanks.
Great Instagram follow. Right. Okay. We went over an hour again, but again, there was lots to talk about. We didn't even get to the turn down Batman Beyond pitch from a couple people, Spider-Verse. Which is not a bad thing to wait on. I mean, it'll be week-old news, 2-week-old news by the time we get to it next week. But guess what? Maybe Alice will be back. She can give us her professional animation feature insight on it as well, because she kind of went whoa in the chat, and we all kind of got taken aback by it. Yeah. I mean, I would love Warner Brothers to do that, but I'm also at the same time scared that Warner Brothers would just put it on a shelf. Because you just never know with that company at the moment.
Right.
It is brutal. So with that said, we're just gonna tone it down here. We're gonna get ready, get the heck out. And speaking of Alice as well, I'll just give this one a quick shout out. Give this quick shout out. This is her comic. This is what she is working on at the moment, and it's why she's not here. So let's help her get trending, and let's get her let's get her those clicks and views and likes. This is her comic, All Haven Academy, and up here as well you can see this is on webtoons.com. Just type it in there. I also have the link down below in the description, as well as the link to Mondo, so you can order all your Rogues and Gambits and Jubilees all to your pleasure. So be sure to go check out both of those links. Support the people here so that they can keep making cool things and using their talent to their full extent. Alan, where I guess we just said Fanplastic 4 on Instagram. Anything
in
else?
This universe, and in the Marvel universe and the DC universe.
Yeah. And anything else that's coming up that you want people to keep an eye on, or just right now, everyone just go buy some Rogues?
Yeah, I mean, we got they're on the site. If you're an X-Men fan, just check them out. mondoshop.com. See what we got.
That's perfect. And of course, I'm Ryan. So then Doell, you will see me on Toy Anxiety on Tuesday. I'll be back here next week. So with that said, everyone have a great, wonderful week. Enjoy all the X-Men hype. Enjoy Bad Batch that dropped today as well. Avatar: The Last Airbender dropping on Netflix this month as well. Right? My buddy Paulie's in that, playing Uncle Iroh. That's so freaking cool. And with that, have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Have a good